Don't you just love the smell of coffee? I know I do. It's enough to even wake me up without even having a sip. But have you ever wondered where your coffee comes from? That's what we're going to talk about today as I take you on a little adventure from a coffee farm straight to your cup. Hey everybody, today I'm going to tell you a story about coffee and how it goes from the tree to your cup. There's a lot of steps involved in getting that coffee from the tree to your cup. Step one, first of all, you've got to harvest the fruit. After planting coffee trees, it takes about 3 years for the tree to start bearing fruit. And that's a pretty long time. But if you've done a good job with the planting, then you're going to harvest some really delicious coffee fruit. That's step one. Step two, after you harvest the fruit, it's time to wash it. Now, washing the fruit wasn't always done. This is a practice that started in about the 1800s in Costa Rica. The reason it's done then and today is to eliminate the potential for any not so great fruit to make it into the next step. And how do we know which fruit is good and which fruit is not so good? Well, if there's anything wrong with the fruit, it'll float to the top. The good ones sink to the bottom. The traditional process was, and still is in some places though, to take the fruit after you've harvested it and lay it out to dry. And that is step three, drying. However you get there, drying is key. You've got to get it completely dry. Now, once we're totally dry, we still don't have what will ultimately go into making a delicious cup of coffee. What you have now is a dried fruit, but we're not interested in roasting the fruit. We want the little prize that's hidden inside the fruit. To do that, step four is husking the fruit. Now these days, that's done with machines at a really rapid pace. But as you can see, it used to be done by hand. And I'll tell you, cranking this around wasn't really easy.
You're trying. Thank you, Jennifer, for the hard work.
The thing we're after is what we call a coffee bean. But it's not a bean at all. In fact, it's a seed. But that doesn't sound as sexy. Like, can I please have a pound of roasted coffee seeds? Not the same effect. To be fair, seeds can be considered beans, but only when they're part of the legume family. Now you've husked it and you've opened up the little prize inside, the seed. Step five, well, it's time to roast those seeds. There are many ways to do this, but the old-fashioned way is to put them in a pot over the fire. After just a few minutes, that sweet, sweet aroma of coffee that we all come to know and love starts permeating the space you're in. But we're not done yet. The sixth and final step is that we gotta grind those beans or seeds. And then you've got your cup of coffee. Finally. That's a lot of steps. So now that you know how many steps are involved and how many people are involved in going from the coffee tree to the coffee cup, think about that the next time you pour yourself your morning cup of joe or your afternoon cup of joe, or for some of you, all the way through the evening cup of joe. Why is it called a cup of joe? Who's Joe? Anyway, if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to Wild Connection TV so I can keep bringing you interesting and fascinating stories from around the world.